Hi, I'm Nathan Oakley and this is video log number 33. Yeah, do I need to give any preamble to 33? Do I need to justify anything here? Is my shirt okay? Just checking. Anyway, I'm going to have my first full-on opinionated, I'm not going to call it a rant because this is going to be controlled to a certain degree. In other words, I gave it 30 seconds of thought before I pressed record, but here we go. I've dabbled in this in loads of different video logs. I've kind of even been filmed by my wife when she was egging me on to talk about this subject and baiting me with words like mathematical certainty. But I kind of still feel like I haven't got it out of my system. And now that I've done a few video logs that are about predictive programming and subliminal messages to a certain degree, all of the rest of the things, words and the spells that go along with them, again, reinforcement of ideas, repetition of what's the one I'm thinking of? I did a whole video log on this. I can't think of the whole list. There's a whole list of things that the system, and I'm going to use that word carefully in this video log, there's a whole bunch of things that the system uses to not put us in our place, but manipulate the way things are done in such a way that a professor, a perfectly educated and bright individual, can believe a lie without necessarily giving it in his conscious mind a second thought, while deep down inside there's a lot of, rumblings. Now, some people say that Britney Spears has got a handler, and to a certain extent that analogy is correct. She's got lackeys and people that hang on to her and are sort of telling her what should be happening and what shouldn't be happening. Now, again, in another video log, I did a piece on Brian Cox and how he sort of was in a behind the scenes, but it's not a behind the scenes because they're trying to get footage. They always are. The camera's rolling and they don't waste time filming. That's why the director sort of steps in and tells Brian Cox what he should be saying and sort of tells him to stick to the script. The script being, we've been to the moon. In other words, promoting that part of the lie. In other words, I feel like I'm at a justified stage if anybody's stuck with me for this long and my video logs aren't terribly boring and a lot of cheesy nonsense from me. You'll hopefully appreciate where this comes from. Now, when we talk about the globe lie, and we know, if you're a new subscriber, the world is flat. We didn't go to NASA, but yeah, if you take that as a given, we kind of know. What do we know? We don't know a whole lot. I've probably pointed that out in a whole bunch of other video logs. But we do know how we've been programmed with the globe, what's been put into our mind, the words that have been used, the images that are embedded, all of this sort of stuff. And knowing that, you can then spot it really easily. You've been told what it is and where to look for it, and then you look for it and you see it, and it's obvious, and you kind of go, I've been fallen by this. And I was chatting yesterday or the day before with Matrix Decode, and he was saying, oh, well, it's just the sheep on mentality when people just sort of slip back into the, watching TV and it's back to Family Guy. The world's flat, but, life goes on. And that sort of mentality leads people dangerously astray with Kubrick, man, he's got all the best lines, but with eyes wide shut. So you appreciate that you've been lied to, and every single time you see Universal and the globe, you go, oh, this is nonsense, man, how did I ever fall for it? But at the same time, the show must go on. There's still going to be a whole bunch of predictive programming, there's still going to be a whole bunch of subliminal messages, you're still going to have a whole load of reinforcement. So you've just got to know what you're looking at. And, I'm, at the moment, ironically, watching more telly than ever. It's weird. You're kind of not looking for inspiration on video logs, but I'm watching it and seeing the stuff and going, well, I might as well make a video log. So I've actually watched my wife's cartoons with a little bit more interest just to get material. But bring me to my point at 4 minutes. There's a new lie. In my mind, this is where it's conjecture and opinion and hands in the air. It's my opinion that the newest lie is the Matrix lie. And hopefully I can boil this down in 30 seconds. There is a spoon. This idea that we live in a simulated reality is disrespectful of every person that's made that spoon. To get the spoon that we think can bend and disappear, it's been dug out of the ground by a whole bunch of contractors who work on machines that have been built that has taken a whole lot of manpower to build. It's been dug out of the ground, it's been melted in and you know, turned into a spoon, pressed, and then packaged, and that's taken a whole bunch of people to make the spoon shiny and in a box. And the box itself has been and ahed over to get its subliminal messages onto the cover without you realising. And you know, this whole process continues. From there, it's got to be distributed, and there's a whole load of people involved in the mechanics of getting it from A to B, just so it can be stored in a factory ready for a big store to buy it and actually have it go on its journey again with a whole load more people. And eventually this spoon reaches a retailer, and there's a whole bunch more people keeping the place clean and keeping it all serviced. And just before it's even been purchased, there's hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousands of people that have got involved just to get it to the retailer. Then someone's bought it, unpackaged it, been influenced by all the subliminal messages on the box, chucked away the box, put it in the dishwasher, which they've had to buy, which has taken a whole load of people to make, and the house that they've built in and all the rest of it. And all of these people have been connected to get the spoon to your hand. So the next time someone says to you, you know, we live in a virtual reality, or they start telling you about time travel being possible, get yourself a spoon, smack it on the head of the person that's saying it to you, and then ask them if the bruise is real. And a week later ask them, you know, and when they say, you know, there is no spoon, say, well, there is no bruise. It's all just a virtual reality. And just remind them of how much time, effort and energy and people went into making that spoon. Now, each little person on their way, I'd be the one delivering the spoon, you know, but that's only a tiny piece. But if someone took that away, I become nothing. And that's what this new lie wants, just like with the globe lie. It wanted the earth to be nothing, a speck of dust. Now they want us to be a speck of dust, and most people are gobbling up that lie with a big fat spoon. I've been Nathan Oakley. I'll see you in the next video, hopefully not 7 minutes.